supplies provided as well. So I think total is about 5,000.
Okay. And so in other words, you'll go back to Jonathan. If Jonathan, for whatever reason, can't do it, you just come back to us and we'll do this again. Is that how it's going to play out?
Yes, I'm not sure. This is a question for Corey, if, you know, what we have to present to the board as far as if they need to see all these options or if they can just see the one that y'all have selected.
Yeah, I think we'd show all, but then highlight the selected artists. And if there are any questions, you know, they can ask, but we'll show them all, but then highlight what the board or what this committee has recommended.
In case Jonathan couldn't do it, should we come up with a second, sort of a second place kind of thing, or is that not necessary, Corey?
I mean, if this committee feels that strong about a second artist, I mean, you could, but I don't think it's necessarily a necessity, unless you feel that strongly about a second artist.
I like that idea, and I
Chosen
like
Jonathan unanimously. If for some reason he can't do it, we can revisit it next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, rather than go through something that may just be an exercise in futility.
Good point.
Okay.
But that's fine. If you all want to do it, I'm fine with it, but it just seems that.
Fine. That's fine. The probability is he's going to be able to do it, so.
Right. In other words, once he's chosen, we will set up a meeting with the community and the public for input about what they want on it, you know, what they'd like to have included in it, and go from there, correct?
Yes, and I'll also have information from Susan as far as what needs to happen. She had mentioned having a repeating pattern. So whether that pattern becomes some kind of symbol of Crestdale, or if it's, I don't know. There's endless possibilities. Sorry, y'all can hear my dog drinking its water very loud.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for Melissa about either of the mural projects? No, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next are division reports. We all had the division reports. Everybody have a chance to look at them. Any questions for anybody on any of those? I have a question for Leanne. I don't know if she's still here. Maybe not.
Yes. Wes.
Okay, sorry, Leanne. You know, on the events we've had at the park, you know, we've not had paid for ticketed events in the park. This is a new thing, correct?
It is.
On the ones we had, do we have any trouble with people coming without tickets, or it was a non-issue?
It really hasn't been an issue. We've used Eventbrite, and so if there are issues, it is maybe with the way that site is set up, or its, you know, its limitations, if you will. But we're also, you know, the money is not so much the point of that as just making sure that people have skin in the game and they show up and don't cause no-shows when you have a waiting list of people that want to get in. So we felt like, you know, even if it was a nominal $4, instead of saying, I'm just going to go eat dinner, I'm not going to go now. And I'm sitting over here looking at 20 people on a list that wanted to get in. So that was really the thought behind it. And so it's not hadn't been a huge focus. And it hasn't been a huge problem. The check-in staff has been amazing at being able to move quickly as people come up to the table. If something's wrong with their order, I have always found that there's a pod or two that I know people tell us at the last minute, I'm not coming. I want to make sure that you know that so you can give my pod to somebody. I keep the picnic areas open for emergency situations or people that drop in at the last minute that don't have a pod. So we've just really been flexible and good, and no complaints, and no safety issues either. It's been great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good job, Leanne.
Oh, thanks. It took a village. Melissa was huge to help us with registration at the beginning, and part-time staff from the community center has come to help. Michelle at the front desk has come to help. So I just had a lot of great people because we were flying without a plan there at the beginning. So it worked out well. We
Yeah,
had
this is
plans,
such a-
just weren't too sure.
I have a question. This is such a new concept of doing something like this, and obviously the pandemic necessitated it. Are we having any, are we having a lot of waiting list? Are we having, is it, I mean, in terms of, are a large percentage of the people that want to get in able to get in, or how large is our waiting list been?
I don't think it's been unmanageable at all. The first one, we started out with a band that, I didn't come out of the gate with the TAMs, for heaven's sakes, and then have be overrun with people.
Right.
So we started out a little carefully. I will say the Band of Oz is this week, and that has definitely been the most. We sold out pretty quickly, and so there are probably quite a few people that want to get in. So and we're going to have quite a few beach folks, because I know that's a huge part of our a huge draw for our folks in Matthews. So we've added several more beach folks, and so we know we'll probably have that problem again, but nothing huge and no complaints. Really, I haven't heard a lot, and some of you may have or seen something on social, but we haven't seen anything detrimental, or everybody's just honestly happy to see us and happy that we're doing something. And they're obeying the rules, and they're just so grateful. It's just really fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. Okay, Corey, Director's Report.
Just a couple of updates. So we have had the initial budget, well, not even a big discussion, but rollout with the elected officials. So we are in the midst of budget adoption season. Subsequent meetings the next couple of Mondays. I'll keep you updated. Next year, not a lot of big projects slated. Some highlights, a couple of pieces of new playground equipment are still in the budget at this point. Some improvements to the community center, downstairs restroom, things like that, but nothing real big. Sticking with the Heritage Trail sort of conversation tonight, we are this close to adding the rapid reflective, the beacon. We're adding the beacon. I've been promised within the next 3 weeks, but that is of course dependent upon some other things happening with Duke removing their pole, and then our contractor removing this retaining wall that we've got in the right of way. So a couple of things have to fall into place, but we feel good about the next 3 weeks that being done. With that, planning a ribbon cutting grand opening of the Heritage Trail, a formal opening of it.
Oh, sorry, I'm not muted. Good. Yeah.
And with that, we want to create a recorded promotion for it. Thought is to have a couple of messages from maybe a couple of elected officials, but certainly some citizens from the Crestdale community and other concerned citizens, really showing the importance of this trail, highlighting what it means, certainly showing some of the interpretive signage that we have installed now, and really shining or allowing this trail to shine. And it's something I want to promote across the state, honestly. And again, just share some of the good things we're doing in Matthews. And so right now, plan is to have that done in the next, trail open in the next 30 days, promotion completed within the next month. So we're very excited about that.
It's awesome.
So when you talk about the beacon, is that what's going to happen to cross John Street?
Across John Street. So we have technically left it unopened without having this protected crossing at John Street, just knowing the volume and the speed. I know people are using it. I think we all know people are using that portion of the trail, but we have left it technically unopened until we can get that beacon in.
Gotcha.
And that's about it.
And Roseland Cemetery, I understand it has been cleaned. Is there any demarcation of the access way to it yet, or we're still working on that?
I don't think so. When I was last out, it is still, a construction site. The actual cemetery, like you said, all the fallen logs and the overgrowth, a lot of that has been removed, but they are still sort of, still building back there. So it's still just dirt, walking around some fences. still think I drove back there in my personal vehicle a couple of months ago. I swear I picked a nail up and that's how I blew a tire out. So be careful if you go back there. It is a construction site, truly.
New construction will get you every time.
No. But yeah, the actual cemetery looks clear. I'll share, if I didn't already, when we were sort of working on it, I want to say it was April 17th, whatever that Saturday was, saw some awesome snakes. So if you want to, go back and maybe help do some additional cleanup, be prepared to be in nature.
All right, thank you. Anybody else have any questions for Corey?
Hey, Howie, it's John. I was reading the minutes from the meeting I missed last month, and there was a note in there regarding maybe giving some updates on the lot at the Erickson property. Is there any update on anything there?
Okay, we're talking the Windsor, Pleasant Plains, and
Yep.
No real update. You may recall we're working with that group. They are recycling used medical gowns on that site. That's pretty much the only movement. Continuing to sort of think through what the master plan is going to be for that site. It's 28 acres.
Yeah.
We do have some funding sort of identified for recreation that came from the Windsor Run project. Those dollars certainly could be used at that location, but not precluded from being used in another location also. So yeah, no big info or no big update on it to this.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks. Anybody else have any questions for Corey? I think old business we pretty much covered. We've been tied up with the Veterans Memorial and some of the mural project. Is there any other piece of old business anybody wants to bring up at this point? I don't think we have any new business. Is there anybody have anything they want to raise? I'm just going to go scroll the next screen. Gone. If that's the case, our next meeting is going to be the one with the diversity committee. Corey, is that we move them to the June meeting?
Yes, we're going to meet with the Cultural Diversity Committee in June. And again, it is wanting to just get your thoughts on where we are as a community, things that, where are the gaps? What are we not providing? What are some things that we can maybe do a little bit better? Just simply getting your feedback on it.
Corey, can we sort of get some questions or something so that we could be a little bit on target? I'm a little fuzzy, and it may just be me, and it may be the time of the time. This is my bedtime. No, it may be just me, but can you sort of outline what we're really looking at with the diversity committee? Because that's pretty open-ended. I'm trying to figure out exactly where the discussion is going.
Yeah, I'll say it was open-ended on purpose, it sort of focusing on programming, and honestly, programming and events are the areas that I believe that they're looking for feedback on.
If you can come up with like 2 or 3 questions that might help focus us on some things that might be discussion starters, I think that'd be helpful.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, thanks.
So note here. All right.
Okay, anybody else have anything they want to cover? I guess not. Guys, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank the public for their input. We appreciate it. And when we have some more information on the Stewart designs, we will share them with you, put them up on the town website, and let you know when the meeting will be, what the day of the meeting will be, where they will be discussed. Otherwise, everybody stay safe and healthy and have a good night. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Howie.
Thanks.